talk about how we met, because you first gave me a pair of glasses when you came out to Marbella. We met over.
That's it.
You did Mike Thurston ran an event, right? Like a fitness event, and him talking about social media and branding and all this sort of stuff in Marbella. And I was just kind of there assisting and helping out and a bit of a part of it. And yeah, I think that weekend was, everyone who was there had an amazing time. And I think it showed like how, for me anyway, because I know a lot of guys like Mike that are like influencers or they're YouTube stars, or you know, they go and build up these brands and they try and sell products and all this sort of stuff, and everyone looks up to them. Interesting guys, have great lives. But I think Mike's got, I've done his podcast as well, but I think he's got like amazing depth. And when you actually sit there, that is when I fell asleep on the floor, and you saw me sleep on the floor. Yeah. It wasn't that boring, but when you listen to him break down how he runs his socials and runs it like a business, and the mind behind it, he's an extremely intelligent, smart guy that you wouldn't think for some guy who's just like
jacked.
Yeah. And you just think he's some sort of like meathead. Obviously, he's got his own vlogs you can watch on YouTube and all that sort of stuff. Extremely popular guy, and you can see. But for me, he's one of the guys I've met in that space that I like respect, because he's an intelligent dude.
But if you took Mike Thurston though and you stuck him at like a business meeting somewhere, he would look at a place, wouldn't he? You know, with the rest of the geeks. Which is like the amazing thing is that some people just think that he made his success purely based on the way he looks. Oh, he's just jacked, he's just good looking. Success is just, you know, easy for him. It's just so far from the truth, isn't it? You know, when you actually, like you said, you sit down and you watch him explain in great detail how he did what he did. It ain't no mistake, is it?
No,
you know?
It's like what, again, it's a tape phrase or whatever, but you never see a guy with a six-pack go, oh, it just happened. Yeah, it's like,
let's just skinny.
But yeah, you have to do the work. Saying? But yeah, we had that weekend, and we had a little fight ourselves, went back and forth. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, but us beating each other up, it was good fun. We started boxing, but then I got a little bit worried, so I had to take it down.
I talk about every time I speak about you, I speak about this moment, because it's like, it's such a funny moment to me, because I obviously respect what you do, and you know, and I don't know if you noticed, but I kind of quizzed you a little bit, you know, because I wanted you to confirm that you were the UFC guy, 23rd ranked in the world at one point. I was like, this is about Goku. It's where Goku comes in, man.
It was 21, but it's
21. So I've been saying that wrong all this whole time. 21, right? So this is where Goku comes back in. So Goku gets like excited when he knows that his opponent can fuck him up at any given moment. Like it kind of like burns. I was like, I gotta feel the thunder. Just a couple of little, even if it's just like low pace rounds, it'd be cool to see how he moves. Do you know what I mean? That's where that comes from. And the next thing you know, we're rolling around on the floor. I'm getting choked out, 34 degrees, whatever it is. And that makes it 10 times worse anyway, doesn't it? You can't breathe anyway. Then you're getting choked out. And then there's one that's like, I put a picture of you on our Instagram. Like I was in the club and you like just got me out of nowhere, and I was like, oh.
Maybe I was pissed.
Don't hang out.
Remember that.
It just kept happening periodically. I said, this guy keeps choking me out. I don't have to be careful what you wish for, guys.
But I know, I watched Dragon Ball Z when I was a kid, but I can't.
Oh, you did watch it?
I can't really remember it, but I can't. I was going to say that I'm sure there's one bit in it where they go into like a time chamber or a pressure chamber.
Yeah.
And they put like 1,000x pressure on them to become stronger or
that's
something.
That's it, yeah.
So I'm not into anime. I think that's like the most mainstream anime that there is. I think it's Dragon Ball Z.
Probably, yeah.
But like I'm not super into anime, but my brother was super into it. Like Gundam Wing, if you've ever heard of Gundam.
Yeah.
He loved all that, and he would show me some of it. And yeah, with that, I like that concept, because I always believe that the more pressure we can like take on in our lives, the better we'll become, right? So that's kind of what he does. I think they go in this time chamber or this pressure chamber that like if you go in there for a day, in there is like a year in there is like a day outside.
Exactly,
the real world or
yeah,
something like that. And they put themselves under this crazy training pressure, and they train like psychopaths, and then they come out like the next level.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you said it then, like searching out those people that are going to give you 1,000x pressure or 100x pressure that are better than you, that are going to push you. That's like a part of life, and that's what I was like in the gym as well. And I think a good bit of advice for guys training, but anyone who's trying to improve at any skill, is with the partner skill, finds the easiest one. But like boxing, you're supposed to train with someone that you're so much better than that you can do whatever you want to, and then you're supposed to train with someone that's better than you. So it's like you have two training partners. You have the guy that's better than you, and you have the guy that you can murder. Because the guy that you can murder,
I was the guy you could murder, by the way.
but you can practice all your new stuff with. So if you're learning a new move, you practice it on this guy. But then when you fight the guy who's better than you or more experienced or been around forever, that's when you bring your A game. So it's like A game time, play time. A game time, play time. And some guys make the mistake, well, they always just try and fight the harder guy. And they always go A game, A game, A game, and they never develop any skills.
Yeah.
And some guys are pussies and they just try and fight the easy guys. And then as soon as they try and step up in class, they just get battered.
Yeah.
I told this story, I think, on another podcast, but there was a guy called Lee Dosky, who was a guy that I used to train with, but he used to train at a different club, and he would come down twice a week, and he was a black belt, 30 fights, older than me, like, and I would be like waiting at the door, like, Lee, let's go. He used to think I was like a dog waiting for him, like, to try and push him, because I knew every time I trained with him, he would teach me something. I would get better. It would suck. And he's actually the guy, because my whole like brand, if you want to call it that, is like comfortable with the uncomfortable. And that he's the one who deemed that on me, because there was one time I was in the cage at Tsunami back in the day, and I was doing we call it shark tanking.
Fresh man every round.
We do fresh man every minute and a half. So it was like, what we do a 5-minute round, and you have 3 partners throughout the round, and then you do 3 rounds. So it's brutal.
Yeah.
And I was getting shark tanked, and I think it was Jack or John. I was like on my back, and they were ground and pounding me from standing, like boom, boom, and I just took these big shots to the face, and then carried on trying to do whatever. And Dosky was there in cage side, looking at me, and he was like, when I got out, he was like, "You're just so comfortable in the most uncomfortable positions."
Yeah.
Because I like put myself in those uncomfortable positions and became chilled. So I think that mentality you have of the Goku, if you want to look at it like that, like trying to find those pressure situations and ways to push you, it can only serve you well. But then you just need to continually readjust and find that the challenge above you and the challenge below you.